Hare Krishna Visakha. So now I am feeling little better physically, and thus I would beg the causeless mercy of Guru and Krishna to answer your questions. Your questions are of two. First questions, you wanted to know about the original Manjari names of Sadak Goswamis who participated in Gaur Lila in different names such as Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, etc. You also asked in your question that who is Manjari out of original 8 Manjari did not participate in Gaur Lila. Let me explain you first these two questions. Rupa Manjari, in his original Manjari form, Rupa Goswami, in his original Manjari form, was called Rupa Manjari, who reappeared in Gaur Lila as Rupa Goswami. Similarly, Rati Manjari, to whom the Pandits also address as Tulasi Manjari, in Gaur Lila, she appeared in form of Raghunath Das Goswami. The original Manjari form of Labhangalata Manjari, or original Manjari, that is Labhangalata Manjari, in Gaur Lila, she appeared as Sanatana Goswami. Similarly, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, in his original transcendental eternal Manjari form, was called Rasa Manjari, who reappeared to participate in Gaur Lila as Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. And Sri Guna Manjari, in her original transcendental Manjari form, reappeared in Gaur Lila as Gopala Bhatta Goswami. Similarly, Manjurali Manjari, who was also known as Leela Manjari, in her original Manjari form, participated in Gaur Lila as Lokanath Goswami. And Sri Bilasa Manjari, in her original eternal transcendental Manjari form, appeared in Gaur Lila as Sri Jiva Goswami. Then Kasturi Manjari, in original Manjari form, Bilasa Manjari, in original Manjari form in Gaur Lila, participated as Sri Jiva Goswami, and then Kasturi Manjari, in her original Manjari form, subsequently came as Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who has compiled Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So from this description you can find actually 6 Goswamis who simultaneously appeared more or less contemporary to the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were very active, and although by same time Lokanath Goswami, who was contemporary, that was the contemporary appearance, but he was more in a bhajanandi mood. So, even once it is said, Mahaprabhu was actively thinking to take sannyasa diksha from him, as I heard from the sadhus. Well, so you can find about one Manjari who subsequently appeared as Krishnadas Goswami, who has compiled Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, was not present during the time of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, along with these Goswamis, 6 Goswamis, inclusive of Sri, Lokanath Goswami. Okay. So these are about the original Manjari forms and names of the Goswamis, which you wanted to know. Now your second questions that you would like to know about Tulasi Manjari. In fact, this is a very deep and vast topic. Actually, some days back, one devotee asked me over mobile to know detail about the Tulsi Devi and asked me to know whether she belongs to Jiva Tattva or Isha Tattva. But immediately that answer come from within my heart, as has been arranged by Sri Guru and Krishna, that she cannot be Jiva Tattva because she is the expansion of Srimati Radharani. Thus we can see that though Tulsi Devi straight comes under Shakti Tattva, however, as the expansion of Srimati Radharani, who is non-different from Krishna, that's why falls under category of Isha Tattva. Tattva category. Like to cite you an example, you can know for your better understanding that Radha and Krishna, in fact, they are one Tattva, supreme absolute Tattva. But for the sake of Leela or eternal pastime, eternally they assume 2 different forms. Krishna is Purna Shaktiman, is infinitely absolute, energetic one, and Radharani is his Purna Swarup Shakti. And Radharani is the eternal absolute internal potency of the Supreme Lord Krishna. For the sake of Leela, they appear in 2 different forms, but they are but one. That is why when you offer make any offering to Krishna or say Jagannath, Swami, then you usually utter what? Your offering mantra, Kling Krishnaya, Govindaya, Gopijana Vallabhaya, Naivedya Swa. So same mantra is also applicable to Srimati Radharani. Although Srimati Radharani has also another mantra, but usually more or less in the same mantra it is offered to Radharani. So that indicates Radha and Krishna, they are but one. So likewise, you have to understand these Manjaris who are the expansion of Srimati Radharani, they cannot fall under the Jiva category because they, in that sense they will because they are the expansion of Srimati Radharani, and that's why in that sense they belong to Isha Tattva. As Radha and Krishna are non-different, so also Radharani and her expansions are also non-different. So I think to this extent you can understand. Now you want to know detail about Tulasi Devi. So you wanted to know the detail about Tulasi Manjari. Actually, it's a very vast topic, and to answer this in a short time is not possible. But the gist of that, let me attempt to answer you. This information was received from the book of a great devotee saint who has compiled this book both at Sri Radhakunda and at Sri Jagannath Puri. In this book, he quoted from various shastras to explain about Tulasi Manjari. Let me now tell you. As per the description, once Krishna, the infinite supreme absolute Lord, desired to present in Bhauma Leela, in this material manifested world, the glories of Parakya Rasa. Parakya Rasa is the highest state of, Prem Bhakti. This Parakya Rasa cannot be exhibited in the transcendental realm of Goloka Vrindavana, simply because they are all only Krishna oriented bhakti in their original forms. So, to conceive that some of them outside the realm of the relationship with Krishna and engage with somebody else under that background to devote themselves to Krishna is impossible, it is inconceivable. But that is possible in Bhauma Leela, because usually, though it is not applicable to them, but to tell you in brief, here in Bhauma Leela, jivas appears in different forms, males and female forms, according to their prarabdha. So this relationship is karma badhya. But there is no karma in the transcendental realm. That's why in manifested material world, if somebody is the wife of someone, yet he is devoted to someone else outside that marital relationship, is considered to be unethical. But in the absolute sense of the term, it is not unethical, because Krishna Bande Sabepati. Krishna is the original and absolute husband of everyone, because Jiva in essence is Shakti, the marginal potency of the Lord. So Shakti means always it indicates feminine. That is why Mirabai has once answered this question, that excepting Krishna, all the others, who is Purusha, all the others, the Shaktis, they are Naris, female. So in the sense of devoting oneself to Krishna, after realization of this deep truth, but while acting upon over this material world that comes under various kind of Vedic etiquettes, marjada, etc., it is very difficult. I don't know if you could understand my saying or not correctly. All I mean to say that the gopis during Krishna Leela were married to different gopas. So, while marrying to somebody else, and they were also very, very chaste ladies, matchless chaste ladies, but they were married to some other persons, yet they are singularly devoted to Krishna, and in a society which was not only orthodox, but the society was guided by strict Vedic principles. That Vedic principles applicable for a normal person's, a conditioned souls, that if somebody is married, especially a lady, she cannot conceive of thinking about anybody else outside the marital life. But whereas The gopis, despite of all this restriction, despite of all this strictness of Vedic principles, strictly applicable to the society, by then, yet realizing the deeper and the superior truth, the supreme truth, that Krishna is the absolute husband of everyone, inclusive of their own so-called husband also, because in that way, so they were devoted to Krishna, crossing the barriers, which was impossible to do. So that shows the depth of their Atma Samarpana, the depth of their, state of complete surrendering to Krishna. So, in this way, Krishna wanted to preach and present to the world the glories of the Parakya Rasa, which otherwise is highly unethical for persons, conditioned souls like us, but in sense of the absolute truth, it is absolutely supreme. So in that context, once Krishna desired to present this Parakya Rasa in this material world. And as for the desire of the Lord, the Yogamaya, his internal potency, Paurnamasi, acted accordingly, and this happened. I am telling all these things in the context of Tulasi Manjari, about that you wanted to know in detail. So in that books, it was stated, in that book the writer, the devotee writer, quoted from different Puranas and Veda, Upanishads, etc. So these are all authentic. So as per that description, when Krishna desired this, once that had taken place in this way. What is the way? Once Radharani fell asleep and put her head at the lap of Krishna in the Kunja in Golak Vrindavan and had gone to deep sleep. So by that time, when Krishna realized that Radharani is in deep sleep, Krishna could very, very carefully collected some bush and put it in a pillow-like form and place it under the head of Srimati Radharani so that her sleep could not be disturbed. Radharani knew this mischief, the mischief of Krishna, in the spiritual sense of the term. That's why she, before she had gone to sleep, she has cautioned 8 of her guards that never let Krishna goes anywhere if he approached you, and if at that time I was in deep sleep. So Krishna carefully leaving Radharani in that step in Kunja, he approached, but he was refused by the 8 guards deployed by Srimati Radharani. But one of the guards was Tulasi Manjari. So when Krishna took the plea of some urgency, she somehow put trust and let Krishna go. So Krishna had immediately gone to Viraja. Viraja, you have heard of Viraja Nadi. Viraja, in her original transcendental form, she was also very much devoted to Krishna and wanted to have the transcendental association of Krishna. Mind it, all these are in the transcendental sense of the term. While in material world, by the strength of our material senses, we cannot conceive and draw wrong conclusion and commit offense. That is why my revered Gurudev has cautioned this topic not to be discussed in public. Only this is the discussion meant for very, very great Rasika Bhakta. Anyway, since you asked, and as that has been described in that book, I am telling you. So Krishna, while going to Viraja, she could know Radharani may come out of deep sleep and look for her. So Krishna took with him Subala Sakha, his eternal friend, Subala Sakha, that he was the expansion of Krishna in other sense, but he was very, very intimate to Krishna. And cautioned Subala Sakha that if at all Radharani comes to this site, never let her go up to see my activities. So Subala Sakha was a very obedient friend. He also carried out the order of Krishna, and thus Krishna had gone to Viraja. Viraja, for a long, he was waiting to get the association of Krishna. So they were engaged in the water sports activities. In the meantime, Radharani, his sleep was broken. He found Krishna was not there. She asked one by one to all the guards, but then Tulasi Manjari, she confessed that she let Krishna goes because he says she had some urgency. So Radharani caused Tulsi Devi that you did not, I made desperate request not to let him go, but you did allow her. So let you be born in human planet. Saying this, Radharani could anticipate, apprehend that Krishna must have gone to Viraja and straight had gone to that site, whereas she was checked by Subala Sakha. So she could not resist herself, climb over a tree and saw the water sports activities. Seeing Radharani, immediately Viraja, out of fear, appeared in the form of a snake, and Krishna also reappeared in form of a peacock. Then the snake was going away and peacock was behind it. So when they were caught by Radharani, then Krishna came to his original form. Then Radharani continued to chastise Krishna very angrily, like anything. However, at certain point of her chastisement, Krishna's friend Subala Sakha could not tolerate it. So she strongly protested over this and said, Radharani, is not expected of you to scold to my friend like this. Because of his glory, he is the absolute, and you are associated with her. You are his supreme worshipper. That's why you are famous all around the spiritual and material world. Without my friend Krishna, where do you stand? But Radharani was very much upset hearing this. He said, it is when we are talking, when the matter is discussed between regarding conjugal relationship of me and Krishna, who are you to intervene? This is not expected from the persons of having the transcendental intelligence. So this kind of reference only show a demoniac tendency. So let me curse you, you be born as a demon. So Subala Sakha could not tolerate. He was also angrily replied that, well, for no rhyme and reason, if you cause me to be born as a demon, let me curse you that for in the material, when Krishna appeared in material world, for 100 years long, you cannot have the association of Krishna and you will get married to somebody else. So hearing this, Radharani got fainted. She was terribly shocked and she cried loudly that Krishna, how could it be possible? For a moment I cannot be without you, without your association, and 100 years that too I will marry to somebody else. What can I do? Krishna replied, what can I do, Devi? You have caused her first. She caused you as a reaction and retaliation. So I am an innocent person. What I could do? So this is all happened because Krishna desired originally to present the glories of Parakya Rasa in the material plane. So in this way, Tulasi Devi was appeared as Vrindavati, as mentioned in Padma Purana, quoted in the book of the devotee saint, and he also referred this local and details etc. Padma Purana. So, Tulsi Devi, who was born as Brindavati, was very much devoted and very much, devoted to Lord Krishna, to Vishnu Tattva. And when she attended marriageable age, she was married to Subala Sakha, who was born as a demon, a Jalandhara. So, they were, and Jalandhar became so powerful that not only she could manage to give defeat to all the demigods, inclusive of Indras, but while Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, Krishna in form of Lord Vishnu, in order to protect the demigods, came to fight with Jalandhar, could not give him a defeat, and he made a compromise because Jalandhar was born out of the ocean, from where Mahalakshmi was born. In that relationship, Jalandhar is the brother-in-law of Lord Vishnu, so they decided not to engage in fighting any longer, and as per the request of Jalandhara, the Lord agreed to come to his kingdom and stayed as his guest along with his wife Mahalakshmi, who happened to be the sister of Jalandhara. When I am talking about the demon Jalandhara, that refers to the mood. Anyway, so when Lord remains in the kingdom of Jalandhara along with Lakshmi, the demigods were deprived of getting the darshan of the Lord. So they were just crying like anything. They are not that much bothered that they lost everything to Jalandhara, but without seeing the Lord, they were very, very pained. So here, Jalandhar became so powerful that no one could conceive of, either individually or collectively, face his challenge. So in this critical juncture, why? And it is said, how he became so powerful? It is mainly because of the chastity, satitto of Brunde Devi, who was the grace jewel among the chaste ladies. So here, how to solve this problem? When Narada Muni, the great, saw the demigods are in deep morose, inclusive of Brahmaji, so he executed a plan as of the prompting from his own within. He came to Jalandhar and said, "Oh Jalandhar, you are so great that one cannot imagine about your greatness. Even Mahalakshmi and Narayana are with you. What more can be expected? It was never seen in history, nor will ever be seen in future. So you are really perfect. But one thing I am very much shocked. Your entire kingdom is lacking one thing." Curiously, Jalandhar asked, "What is that, Mahamuni?" Now, you cannot imagine how beautiful and excellent and effulgent and striking beauty that Parvati, the wife of Lord Shiva, is there. Had she been in your kingdom, it would have been a complete kingdom. So far as the shining, beautiful, effulgent form of Parvati is concerned, at her absence, it doesn't look like that. As Jalandhar was affected by demoniac mood by the course of Srimati Radharani. And originally, all this happened because Krishna wanted to present the glories of Parakya Rasa. So philosophically you have to understand in this way. So, upon hearing from Narada Muni, Jalandhar had gone to Parvati. When he got, once the demigods approached Lord Shivaji to protect them, Shivaji was engaged in war with Jalandhar. This war had taken a long place, but no one could, long time, but no one could give defeat to anyone. So, when Jalandhar heard it, then for a while he came out of the war field, because the demons knows many different, they can assume any form. So he appeared in the form of Lord Shivaji, holding Dambaru, and all this had gone to see Parvati. Parvati, presuming that her husband Lord Shivaji has come out of the war and came out. But seeing the shining, effulgent and inconceivably beautiful form of Parvati, Jalandhar was fainted. Parvati could realize that he is not my husband. So, very fearfully, she offered her prayer to Lord Vishnu, to Lord Narayana, the Supreme Lord Krishna in various forms, She worshipped Lord Narayana, please come to my protection. So Lord desired it. Lord knew that Jalandhar has come to destroy the chastity of Parvati, Mother Parvati, in form of Lord Shivaji, and until and unless, so that is why to take away the chastity in the physical sense of the term of Vrindavati is not an offense, because Jalandhar was the first offender to come in this mood, and until and unless that her chastity is taken away, so because the strength of her chastity, Jalandhar remain alive and remain as a constant threat and problem to the entire cosmic creation, so he cannot be killed. So here Lord once appeared in form of a great sage. One was in deep meditation. That time Vrindavati, along with her girl's companion, were roaming in the jungle, thinking all the good for her husband, how she can come victorious from the war. Although originally she stopped her husband, saying that with this attitude, if you go, this goes against dharma, this is not fair. But her husband could not hear, Jalandhar could not hear, because he was so much excited upon hearing from Narada Muni. So realizing this, Vrindavati thought, let me do my sati duty towards her husband. So as a chaste lady, crest jewel among the chaste ladies, she was always thinking, once she had gone to jungle to collect different ingredients for the worship of Lord Vishnu, because she was originally a great devotee of the Lord. So he was roaming in the jungle. Then he found that two ferocious monkeys were chasing them. Out of fear, she could notice little far a great sage was there sitting, very, very effulgent scent. To take shelter of the sage, she ran towards that side. After a while, he found the head of the beheaded body of her husband Jalandhara. Head and this body was separated from each other. Seeing it, she cried like anything, And then when the sage, upon hearing her cry, came out and gave protection, and the sage threatened to those monkeys, those had gone away, but then immediately the fresh jewel among the chaste ladies, when Brindavati saw her beheaded husband's body, she collected dry woods, etc., to give up her life in immolation in the deep fire. That time the sage assured them and brought Jalandhar back to life. And then the sage disappeared. So Brindavati was so much in thought of her husband Jalandhara. Seeing Jalandhar in this way, she explained the whole incidents, how the sage protected him. But all these are the illusory display played by the Supreme Lord, Krishna in form of Vishnu, to confuse Brindavati as a way to take her chastity, by which Jalandhar remained unconquerable. And if Jalandhar remained, could have been there in that form, that would have a great threat to the demigods, to human planets, to everything. So, and Jalandhar could cause the first offense by thinking to go to Mother Parvati for his sense gratification, because he was under that mood. So Lord played this game by which this Tulsi Devi could not understand. Then he requested her husband Jalandhara to come to their original, rooms in the Rajanar, in the king's palace. But Jalandhar desired that she was very much tired. She wanted to spend a little bit time in the midst of the beauties and bounties of the mother's nature, and he wanted to have the physical association of her wife. So as a chaste lady, Brindavati could not say no, and then they had their respective association. But soon after, Brindavati realized, this is not my husband. So when she was terribly affected, Lord came in his original Narayan Swarup. So then, Brindavati caused the Lord, saying, you are Narayan, you are the Supreme Lord, and I am your devotee. But you could play this game to take away my chastity. And he caused like anything. And then had gone to give up her life in self-immolation. Collected dry wood. Whatever Lord Narayan says, he could not hear. And burned to ashes. So seeing her this, Lord Narayana became almost like a big rock. Could not move this way, that way. So demigods continued to cry like anything. What could be done? If Narayan will be in this condition, what will happen to creation? How can they worship their beloved Lord? So here, Lord Narayana, that is also the result of Krishna. His tattva, that is Vishnu tattva, reappeared as Salagram Shila to facilitate his devotees for their faster and quicker spiritual advancement. So Salagram Shila need not be installed, and no instruction ceremony is required, because originally the Lord appeared in Salagram Shila, and that is available in Ganduki River. So Tulasi Brindadevi, who gave up her body in self-immolation, appeared as the sacred plant Tulasi. And Jalandhar After this happened, Shivaji could kill Jalandhar, and Jalandhar appeared as Brajakita, a kind of insect who can only cut the Shalagram Shila. So all this happened because whatsoever Krishna desired, it is all auspiciousness for the sake of the living entities at large. To facilitate his devotees, he thus appeared as Shalagram Shila, and soon after this, Tulsi Devi could realize that, oh my God, I became the victim of all the illusory things. But really, our only husband, the absolute husband, is Krishna. How could it happen to me like this? So she could, she cried like anything from her within. And originally she was given consolation that this is because Krishna desired to present the glories of Parakya Rasa in the material plane to his Premi Bhaktas. So thus, then he became so much attached to Krishna that she remained fixed at the feet of the Lord, and Lord also made the vow, until and unless any offering is made to him, the Supreme Lord, without Tulsi, he will not accept. So Tulsi is a must while offering it. So these are the background of Brunda Devi and the Tulsi Manjari. So these are in very short. I have explained you. I would have talked to you in more detail, but I know I am physically not well. Anyway, with this, I think both of your questions are answered. Still, if you have any doubt, you are most welcome to put the questions, and when I will feel better from the present state of illness, I will attempt to answer you by way of begging the mercy of Guru and Krishna to help me for that. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Jagannath. Jai Gopal. Jai Srila Gurudev. Jai Srila Prabhupada.